mean, it's real life to have to pay bills, right? Kids' braces, utilities, whether or not to go on vacation or whatever. But I can tell you how to be financially free. And the definition of freedom is to have options. What is that key to financial freedom? The key to financial freedom is to make sure you spend less than you make. Did you know there's only 5 things you can do with money? You can spend it to live, you can give it, you can pay your taxes, you pay debt, and what's left over is savings. Most people, if you say, are you spending less than you make? That's the key to financial freedom. They don't know the answer to that because they don't know what's in their different boxes. Now some of you say, well, Russ, I don't have to give. Well, if you study the scripture and want to be obedient to what God has said, I think giving needs to be something you do. What should be in this debt box? And by the way, I put the mortgage up here because most people, getting started will have a mortgage or rent or whatever. That goes into living expenses. This is all that consumer debt. What do you think is the right number for this box? 0. You want to get this number to 0 as soon as possible. It does several things. It keeps that living expense, it keeps that numerator lower, which keeps your amount you need to make lower. 2 key things on living expenses that we've learned. 1, you need to be realistic. It doesn't do you any good to just put in low numbers and convince yourself you're making it when you're really not. In other words, get a realistic number in each of the living expense categories. And here's one thing that other people do, is they just leave stuff out. Because I put in a number, I don't miss how God works. When we had young children, when the years the kids got sick, the cars didn't break down. But I wouldn't have known that if I didn't have a budgeted number that I was working against. So on the living expenses, put in realistic numbers and don't leave stuff out. So here's the other big aha for right here. You've got to do monthly and non-monthly. You're only on a budget if you can tell me how much you have left to spend in any category. Don't just show me what you've spent. How much do you have left to spend? But it's important to talk about what's priority. So Julie and I decided early on getting out of debt was a high priority. One of the ways to be able to be obedient to what God has for you is to put yourself in a financial position to where you have options. So that's the key to financial freedom. Spend less than you make and do it for a long time.